Hari Om. I do not want to introduce Preeti as the oldest Chinmaya Mission devotee, but I would love to introduce her as a sister to me because her brother Utkarsh would tell so much about his sister and how wonderful she was. And at a point of time, I even thought I wish I had so much love giving sister. I do have one. The way he used to tell was something really interesting. Would you all love to know what her experiences were with Gurudev and how much of love she had for her brother? Listen in her own words.
The Trichy Chinmaya Mission asked Daddy whether we would host Gurudev for the first yagna in 1978, and we were more than happy, Daddy and Mummy were more than happy to do that. So since 1978, my association with the Gurudev started, and it was instant. There was nothing it was as if I knew him forever, and I was drawn to him like a magnet. I would follow him wherever he would go, whichever talks. He would give about 4 talks in a day, those days, in the morning class, and then one talk at around 11 o'clock at a college. And then evening he would attend, he would address another club, say, and then the evening talk.
Very vibrant at that.
Very vibrant, very vibrant, and we would admire and adore the way he walked like a lion, and the way he used to thunderously roar and laugh with his, shoulders moving. I mean, we used to just adore him. He would more like a child with us. He would make us laugh. He would make us, not feel scared of him. We were so much, and I used to travel a lot with him. My dad used to drive the car. In those days we had ambassadors, we didn't have air conditioned cars. So dad would drive the car, Gurudev would sit on the left side and I would sit in the center. Luckily for me, those bucket seats weren't there. So many times I would doze off while coming back because it used to be pretty hot. And when I wake up, I would find myself on Gurudev's lap. My God, when I think of those days, I'm so blessed. I'm really so blessed.
Then, at that age, did you write letters to Gurudev?
Yes. I used to write very regularly. At least once a month I used to write to him, and Gurudev used to be very prompt in replying as well. And Gurudev, for me at that time, I could not at that young age comprehend his greatness, but for me he was more like a friend, a guide, a grandfather, sometimes a stern father, sometimes a loving mother. So he played all those roles for me, so I used to ask him silly questions also.
Was he stern ever?
Yeah, he was strict. You can't say stern, but he was strict. I mean, when I used to travel with him, I have to inform him. I can go out, but without informing him, I'm not supposed to do anything. Like when I'm under his care, then, I mean, there was no trespassing, no taking, things for granted. So yes, I used to correspond with him regularly. And my great-grandmother, she used to be living with us, and when Gurudev visited us, she was 95. She was very fond of Gurudev, and Gurudev also was very fond of her. Every time Gurudev, every day he would make it a point to go to her, prostrate to her, hug her, and at the table he would make her sit next to him, and from his plate he would give her to eat. So both of them had this mutual love. After a couple of years, my great-grandmother, she called me and she said, please write to Gurudev and ask him that now I'm fed up of this body. I want to leave this body. So tell him, when do I go? So I wrote to Gurudev and I told him that great-grandmother wants to know when she can leave the body. So he told me, ask her to hang on, I'm coming. Because his yagna was scheduled the next year. So I told that to her and she said, okay. So the following year, Gurudev was in Trichy for the yagna, and the same routine continued, and they used to, love each other and show so much of affection. The last day I remember of the yajna, Gurudev had a talk at BHEL, the evening talk, after which he would go home, freshen up and then proceed to the Yajnashala. But on the way back from BHEL, Gurudev suddenly turned behind. My mother was sitting behind. He told her, Rekha, I think you must go home, rush home fast. I will not be coming home, I will go directly to the Yajnashala. Go home and then bring my luggage to the Yajnashala. I will not be coming home, I will go directly to the railway station. We were a little, puzzled at Gurudev's sudden change in plans. But then we did what he said. So when mummy rushed back home, she found that great-grandmummy was sinking. So she gave her Gangajal, and then when mummy came to the Yajnashala after the talks, she conveyed this to Gurudev. So Gurudev nodded, means he was knowing. And he said, he told us that she was a great and noble soul and she completed her entire cycle and she has gone back home. And you must keep her photograph in the puja room. So this was like a wonderful experience where Gurudev himself, gave moksha to her, Gurudev used to take the morning meditation classes, and one of the classes, halfway through the class, Gurudev became silent. We knew sometimes when he gets angry, he does become silent and he just watches everybody. Then at the end of the class, he mentioned that he saw people dozing, leaning on the pillars. So he said, do you come to the meditation class to sleep? I want each and every one of you to write down on a piece of paper what you heard today from me. So then all of us had to do that exercise that very day and submit the paper to him. He said he will go through each and every paper and then get back to us. Luckily for me, I wasn't dozing. I was quite alert. So I could write and submit it. And after we went back home, after a week, that paper follows with Gurudev's remarks on it. Good. So in the sense, my God, where did he find the time to go through each and every paper and, with his remarks he had sent it. Isn't that amazing?
How many of them were there, camp participants?
Camp participants must be around 150.
For all he has sent?
Yeah, for each and everybody. He has corrected and sent. Isn't that amazing? I was in a boarding school in Connor in my 12th standard. And I was thrilled because I stood third in my class, 12th standard. And like with great thrill, I wrote to Gurudev that, Gurudev, I stood third. So you know what Gurudev replied? He said, push that stupid two people who are standing in front of you and come nearer to me. Nearer the first where I am standing, Well, that was the ultimate and that was a great inspiration. I really put my heart and soul into my studies. And without Gurudev's grace, of course, it cannot happen. You won't believe it. I topped the school. I stood school first. I mean, what else, can you ask? When he really fires you up with so much of enthusiasm.
Did Gurudev come for your wedding?
No, Gurudev was in Baroda at that time, but he sent us his blessings. He sent a letter saying that my blessings are with you. And, he gave me advice again that, don't expect them to understand you, but look for occasions where you can constantly serve them. So that was a great message which really helped me to pull through, because when a girl goes into a new family, it's very difficult. And so in every step of my life, I see Gurudev guiding me, and things are like so smoothly, they just glide. It's all because of his grace.